Hello everyone, it's me, Orpheon, your infinite dragon sorcerer here, and yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been able to upload that much videos yesterday. I was trying to figure out what was going on with my new laptop, and it was trying to do a fine tuning, but it glitched out every time I tried to add a video, and it wasn't working properly. It's not broken or anything; it's just not working. So. I'm trying to get more subscribers on my channel so that way I can find a way to get fixed and possibly get a better computer than this one because apparently, not only is it not able to update itself fully, I updated it to its fullest capacity apparently, but it's not working properly. So it doesn't matter even if I try to update a video or edit a video, it's just not working with the crap. So I'm using my phone as an alternative. So if the detail and graphics in these what if videos and the pictures I show on my what if videos are a little bad, I'm sorry everyone, it's because of this horrible and annoying situation. So that's why I'm trying to get more subscribers and possibly get a sponsor for my YouTube channel and possibly get enough money for a new and more powerful laptop. So everyone, please share my YouTube videos on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and any YouTube video that I made. As long as I gain more subscribers and get more views, that would be very much appreciated. And also, I didn't expect for what if Asta had Shazam's powers to blow up this quickly. It already has like 3,069, I think, views. So, yeah. And where we last left off in this what if, it was on a good note with Asta becoming a new member of the Black Bulls, and he actually writes to the church saying he actually got into the Magic Knight Squad. And that's where we left off. And now we're going to cover with Asta actually doing his daily chores as usual as he does in the anime, as in canon, but the monsters don't, when he feeds the monsters that Captain Yami tries to capture and as his pets on his spare time, the monsters are somewhat scared of Asta because of his immense magic, and they don't want to go anywhere near Asta. So Asta just lets the food sit close to where the monster will go, and he leaves and gets on with his next chores. And Magna is teaching him and giving him a tour of the Black Bull's hideout, and that whole thing happens as similar as in canon, but Noelle, when they encounter Noelle, she's acting a little different than she did in canon. She wants to know what's up with that transformation type of magic and that enormous amount of magic you have. And Asta replies, it's just a thing I can do. And he's not a noble, and Noelle is disgusted and freaking out and exaggerating and saying, "How dare you address me in such a way, you commoner? I am royalty." And that whole thing where Noelle is being a tsundere and she doesn't want to let anyone get too close to her, given her past history with all the rest of the Silva family, making fun of her and insulting her, bullying her siblings, bullying her, and her being an outcast in the Silva family because she can't control her magic. Happens as it does in canon, and says she quits the Black Bulls, and Asta is trying to find Noelle, and he sees Noelle trying to aim her magic at a target that's on a tree, as in canon, and then, of course, when Noelle sees and hears Asta in the bushes hiding, her magic begins to go out of control because she's afraid that Asta was going to make fun of her, and she just couldn't take it, and she didn't want that to happen. And her magic was going out of control because at the same time she didn't want to hurt Asta because she just didn't have any control over her emotions, and her magic was a direct representation of her emotions not being very concise, and she doesn't know what to feel. And then as soon as her magic goes out of control, every one of the Black Bulls feels and senses all this mana coming from a certain point outside the Black Bull's hideout, and of course Asta is trying to dodge, and he's actually in his Shazam form. While Asta sees Noel's magic going out of control and she starts floating towards the sky, Asta says, "Shazam!" And he's trying to find a way to get close to her without actually hurting her. And he flies down to the Black Bulls and talks to Captain Yami, saying that, "Guys, it's Noelle. Her magic, it's going out of control, and I don't know how to help her." And Captain Yami responds to, "Well, I have an idea. Why don't you use that anti-magic sword of yours?" And Asta's like, "I don't know if it's going to work well with my at the state I'm in." And Yami says to Asta, that wasn't in question. It was an order. Now do it." And yeah, Asta's like, okay. And he actually pulls out his 5-leaf Cobra Grimoire and gets his anti-magic sword. And it looks the same, so it doesn't change. It doesn't change into any different forms because it doesn't affect Asta's magic, because all this magic is coming from all of the gods in Greek mythology, giving Asta the powers of Shazam. So then Asta flies up and actually hits Noelle's magic, and then begins to dissipate. And he flies. He's to catch Noelle, and he's actually carrying her bridal style, and then lays her down on the ground to see if she's okay. And then she wakes up and she tries to slap Asta for being too close to her, because she has feelings for Asta and she doesn't want to admit it. And then everyone is excited and glad that Noelle is okay, and they all welcome her with open arms. That still happens, and now it's time for Asta, Magna, and Noelle's first mission as Magic Knights and being part of the Black Bulls. It was because, well, Captain Yami and also Magna have lost a bet to the chief of Saussy Village, and they promised to do one thing he asked, and he told them to take care of and get rid of some boar that was going out of control at nearby Saussy Village. And they take the job, and then Captain Yami then tells Asta, Noelle, and Magna are going to do this. And he tells them they don't have an option. Either to take the mission or die. And Asta and Noelle are like, okay, don't have much of a choice. And instead of Asta running on a magic broom, he flies relatively fast, and he actually asks Noelle if he can carry her, so that way it makes things easier. And Noelle's like, "What? Who gave you the permission to touch me? And no way, I refuse." And then Magna says, "Fine, if you're gonna fly over there, make sure we're able to catch up and keep up with you, because Captain Yami said you fly pretty fast." And Asta says, "Okay, I'll try to slow down a bit." And Asta, Magna, and Noelle, they all start flying to Saussy Village, and some couple of minutes pass, and they're actually close by Saussy Village, and they're getting rid of and attacking some boar that are going out of control. And Asta, he's doing very well. He doesn't even break a sweat in taking care of the wild boar that are going out of control and attacking everything. And even if they try to attack Asta, he just channels some of Zeus's lightning through his body, and he actually charges towards all the boar, and then they get electrocuted, and they actually get... It's kind of like they get really well cooked. And Asta's like, okay, didn't know I could do that. And actually, Asta was just able to electrocute them to the point where all the fur on their body, it was just gone, and their skin was sort of cooked to a tender brown, just like gourmet chefs cooking steak or something like that. And Asta actually tries to carry all the dead corpses of the boar that were beaten up pretty badly by Asta's attack. And then Magna, Noelle see the village covered in this huge barrier covering all of Saussy Village. And Magna then asks Asta if he could actually use his anti-magic sword to break through the barrier. And Asta puts down the boar that he defeated, and he flies towards the barrier, and he actually puts his hands into it and actually is able to shatter the barrier entirely. Because remember, Zeus is the most powerful god in Greek mythology, and he's the king of the gods in Greek mythology. So Asta does this with relative ease, and the barrier is shattered, and then they all see everyone in Saussy Village scared and in terror, and they are about to be killed by these three mages that use ice and mist magic to try to kill them all at once. And Asta, with the speed of Mercury, he flies all the way to all the villagers, and he generates a lot of lightning, and he makes a sort of lightning cage all over protecting the villagers of Saussy Village. And the lightning magic just melts. It just melts and dissipates because Zeus's lightning is divine, so it can't ever be weakened by such weak magic, even if it's from anybody or any human. And then Asta's glaring at the three mages and their leader, who's sitting down in front of the church and the stairs. He's looking at his pocket watch, saying, he's agitated, and he's trying to actually say, "Good for crying out loud! This is why our magic knights it's interfering with our plans, especially ruining our schedule, and Black Bulls no less, the worst squad of them all." And Oz is yelling, he shouts, "What the hell do you think you're doing to these villagers?" And Magna and Noelle follow suit, and they're actually able to go past and go around Asta's barrier because, well, he considers them friends, so they're not enemies. The barrier of lightning in protecting the villagers was only meant to keep back them away from hurting the other villagers, and it doesn't affect Magna or Noelle because they're his friends, and he knows that they're trying to help. But Noelle is reluctant, and she stays behind the lightning barrier with the villagers, and Magna begins to attack using his flame magic, and then the three mages just attack using ice spears and glaciers at Magna, and Asta is actually helping Magna by actually using his Zeus lightning and tries to punch his way through all of the ice attacks. And he actually does. Every time he punches each and every spear, it doesn't even hurt him because his entire fists and arms and body is covered with Zeus lightning. So it doesn't even affect him. And all of three mages are actually able to sense all this magic coming from Asta while he's in Shazam mode, and he doesn't even need to use his anti-magic swords because he's strong enough to handle all of them. And with insane speed, he catches all three mages all at once, and he also knocks them out using Zeus lightning. So yeah, they're all captured, but they don't even have time to actually kill themselves. So as soon as they're all captured, Noelle, let's just say she doesn't exactly learn what her new spell, Water Creation Magic Sea Dragon's Lair, at this moment. She'll learn it later on in this What If series, so don't worry. She'll learn it. She'll still learn it in a couple of more spells as she does in canon. And as soon as everyone was okay, and the chief of Saussy Village is injured, but he's still breathing and he's not dying, but he still needs to get some recovery magic to heal him up. And then everyone is actually heading back to the Black Bulls hideout, and their mission was a huge success. But then Captain Yami actually informs them that the three mages that are attacking Saussy Village, as soon as the other mages that were sent by the Wizard King showed up to capture them and retrieve them, they actually snapped back to consciousness, and they still didn't want any information to leak out to the Clover Kingdom, so they still committed suicide, and all that was left was that their leader's pocket watch, and it was silver. So Asta's like, wait, what? Are you serious? This is that. Oh man! And he's actually angry, and his body's still in Shazam mode, so he actually stomps his foot onto the floor, and then his foot gets actually implanted into the very floor. And it causes a small crater as he stomps his foot onto the very ground, and he's just mad about why did they do this? Why did they just end their lives without even considering their... He was just frustrated. And he actually flew off to go train somewhere close to where the Black Bull's hideout was. He just flew off in a huff, and he's just thinking, and he's actually just training, trying to get stronger, and using his anti-magic sword along with his Shazam form. And then we're at the point where Asta, Vanessa, and Noelle all head to the black market in the capital, where they're trying to find a magic item that will help Noelle control her magic. And that event happens a little bit different. Even if Seke tries to help, he doesn't need to, because he doesn't even get the chance to. And Asta is still in Shazam mode all the time, so he believes that he doesn't need to use a lot of his power. He's not exactly cocky, but he's actually just focused, and he's a lot more smart in this form because of the wisdom of Solomon. And then when this burglar, this bandit, actually steals all this Yule, basically this world's currency, from the Wizard King while he's in disguise as an old lady, Asta actually flies and captures this guy right off the bat as soon as he snatched all this Yule from the Wizard King while he was in disguise. And the Wizard King actually thinks to himself, what exactly is up with this guy's magic? It's immense. It's even more powerful than mine. And guys, if you're wondering, wait, how powerful is Asta while he's in Shazam form? Let's just say he's about the same, a little bit similar to magic power with the Wizard King, but he's still a little bit stronger than the Wizard King. So he's a little bit stronger than a Wizard King, but not by much. So Asta will develop even stronger abilities and strength in magic over time. And since he's in Shazam all the time, he's still trying to learn more all he can, even though he has the wisdom of Solomon, who's the god of wisdom. And Asta still has a little bit of a similar personality as he does in canon, so he still is a little dense, so he's somewhat still oblivious to Noelle having feelings towards him and other girls having a similar love feelings being towards him. So yeah, that's still going to be a thing. And then later on the next day, a dungeon appears, and the Wizard King recommends Asta in particularly because he knows about this anti-magic sword he has, and he also recommends Noelle and the Golden Dawn and Yami recommends Luck because he can sense magic due to his lightning magic. And sorry if my knuckles are cracking, it's just my hands. I just got done with the workout. Now let's get back to the what if. Asta, Noelle, and Luck head to the dungeon, and they actually make it there in the nick of time. They actually head into the dungeon, and Luck is still trying to figure out and tries to talk with Asta while he's in Shazam mode. And he's the same height as Captain Yami, so Luck asks Asta, "So, Asta, what's up with that anti-magic sword you have?" And he says, I don't know, it's just part of my abilities, I guess. And in luck, he actually tries to trip some traps, and Asta just ain't having it. He actually puts down his anti-magic sword onto the magic circle where the traps before they even start, because he's also able to sense a lot of details of all the magic that is overflowing in the dungeon. And Lux still is joking around, causing traps, and Asta's canceling them out with his anti-magic sword one by one. So Asta and Noelle don't need to be saved by the Golden Dawn, mainly Yuno, Klaus, and Mimosa. And that whole interaction happens differently. And Luck then is actually flying off up to see where this magic was coming from. He sensed it was from one of the mages from the Diamond Kingdom, and the Golden Dawn still had their similar interaction with Austin as in canon, with Luck leaving right after Klaus was still insulting him, and he recognized Luck as the Cheery Berserker because that's his title, and he's a kid and he's a big fighter with his lightning magic. And they all agree to have a little race. And Asta, before he agrees, he actually has to go help out his teammate Luck because he doesn't know if he can continue this mission without him because he wants all of his squad mates to be on this mission with him. And he goes after Luck, and he says he'll catch up to, Klaus and Mimosa because he's incredibly fast, and he flies off and picks up Noelle bridal style again, and Noelle's blushing, and she's just strangling, trying to punch and kick Asta, and he's just not having any of that, and he's saying, ow, come on, Noelle, this is the fastest way for us to save Luck, because he then, on the way, he's able to sense that Luck's mana is getting weaker because of one of the Diamond Kingdom's mages actually has this black smoke magic that actually weakens your mana and your magic, and it actually has sort of status weakening effects. It weakens your magic if you're surrounded by it for too long, or if you're engulfed in it. So that still happens, and Luck is about to pass out, and he's remembering his past with his mom, and the fact that she abused him, and he actually never stopped smiling, and he actually was able to beat up a noble and while he was still a child. And his mom was dying of a sickness, and she tells Luck to constantly get stronger. If he was able to be a noble, he has to become the strongest. And then she dies to her sickness, and Luck still smiles even at his mom's funeral. And then Asta grabs onto Luck and actually tries to wake him up. And Luck actually wakes up and he's like, what do you think you're doing? He's my opponent. Don't get in my way. And Asta's saying, what are you thinking, Luck? We're all part of the same squad, which means we have to work together as a team. And Luck says, nope, don't think so. He actually tries to attack the Diamond Kingdom mage, but he's still blocked and dodging all of Luck's lightning magic attacks because of the black smoke surrounding Luck and Asta and Noelle, because they can hardly see him. Even with this smoke covering around him, all of them, they can't sense his magic. So they can sense his magic a little bit, but it's not very accurate. So Asta actually has an idea. He actually tries to use the speed of Mercury, and he actually spins around like a top and causes a small tornado, blowing away all of the smoke magic due to the massive air pressure that Asta was creating just by spinning around like a top. And the Diamond Kingdom mage is seeing this, and he makes a tactical retreat, retrieving his other comrades that came with him that were Diamond Kingdom mages. And he got away. And he's wondering where Mars is, and Mars sneaks up on Mimosa and attacks her silently with his mineral magic and hurts Mimosa, but she's still okay. She's just out of the battle, and Mimosa is using her plant magic to heal herself. And Klaus and Yuno are using all the magic they can to attack Mars, and using his mineral magic, he's actually just making giant swords made of minerals, and he's actually just swiping it towards Klaus and Yuno. And right around when he was about to land the finishing blow, Asta, Noelle, and Luck actually make it in time, and Asta basically punches Mars, knocking him into the water. And while he's knocked out, they actually go get him. Mainly Asta has to, because he went so far down the water, and he's actually able to get him out of the water. And Klaus binds him using his iron magic. I think it's called iron magic or steel magic. Just let me know down in the comments. And he confiscates Mars's grimoire. So, then still acquires his wind spirit, or Bell, or Sylph, I don't know which one, and Asta still gets his second anti-magic sword. And while this is happening, Mars begins to wake up, and then he attacks Noelle, and she's injured, and Mars is using his mineral clones of himself, and he's using his giant mineral golem suit to attack Asta and everyone else there. And the force was also destroying parts of the dungeon, so the dungeon was crumbling all around them, and they were running out of time, and they're having trouble trying to defeat all these mineral clones made from Mars' magic, and he's actually using flame recovery magic to heal himself. And Austin has an idea. He tries to ask Noelle to try to give some of Asta her magic, and she agrees, and then some of Noelle's magic goes into the second anti-magic sword that Asta got from the dungeon, and he actually swings, and a blue slash of water magic was actually able to cancel out and hurt Mars, and he's out cold, and the dungeon is still crumbling around them. So they all manage to get out of there, and they're all safe. And Mars and the Diamond Kingdom mages still get a whole bunch of treasure from the dungeon before it collapses, and they saved Mars. And that's basically the end of the dungeon arc, with Asta still in his Shazam form and asking if Noelle will be okay. And he's not even tired. He's perfectly okay. And he's not even hurt. So Klaus actually congratulates Asta on having this much magic, and also having this strange anti-magic swords with him. And he also congratulates him on being stronger. But he reluctantly still acts a little snobby and tries to act like a royal. So then, as the day goes on and the sun sets, everyone heads back to their homes, and Asta, Noelle, and Luck head back to the Black Wolves hideout, and they get some rest. Same for the Golden Dawn. And guys, that's where I'm going to leave it off this time. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'm sorry if I wasn't able to add a little bit of details in this what if. I wrote a script, but it also got soaked in paint and some soda and water I was drinking. And it was also because I was just getting done with my daily workout routine, and I wrote a script, but I accidentally spilled Powerade and soda and water on it on accident, and it was all on my table, and I'm just trying to clean it up. And sorry about that, everyone. And guys, if you guys really like this what if, as always, like it, give it a ton of views, so that way I can actually eventually get a community tab and also get some more subscribers onto my channel. And all of you guys who support me on my YouTube channel, I'm really thankful for all of you. And we actually made it to 537 subscribers, and I'm hoping we can make it up to 1,000 eventually, just like Kid Zeus and Comic Sans, the sin of pride and the sin of greed. And if you guys like What If YouTubers, please subscribe to The Sins if you like What If YouTubers and all of that. Anyways, Infinity Overdrive! Infinite realities, infinite possibilities. See you all in my next video. Catch you later, everyone!